What goes down, everybody? Walker Dead here, back again with another episode for you guys. This is Season 2, Episode 11 of my Walker Dead Reboot series, titled 18 Miles Out. Thank you all so much for the love and support. I really do appreciate it, and yeah, let's get into this episode now, shall we? The episode begins with Tara interrogating Randell. She is like beating him up, and she is like, you tried to kill my friends, try to take this farm. Randell lies and says, I don't know where they are. I told you. Tara pushes him against the wall and says, you haven't told me shit. Now, unless you wanna feel more pain after I take this fucking bandage off and make your wound 10 times more hurtful, I suggest you tell me where are the livers so me and my group can fucking go and take them out. I'm gonna count to 5. And if you don't fucking tell me, I'm gonna fucking blow your fucking eyeball out. And then what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna chop your leg off. Because guess what? I have no fucking problem doing that. You fucking liver scum. Alright. From I overheard, and this is all I know, Harlan, the leader, was setting up his camp nearby highway. Tara says, which highway? I have no idea. All I know is that's where he was gonna set it up. How? If you give me the map, I'll show you. I'll comply. I'll do whatever the fuck you guys want. You know, there was this group of three adults, 3 girls. One of them kind of, well, you know, my age, kind of cute. But I assure you, I didn't touch those girls. As Tara punches Randell in the face as mad blood's coming out of his fronts. Out of his face. Randell says, I'm not like that. I'm not like that. And then boom, Tara punched him again in the face, and just continues punching him and punching him and punching him. Tara goes back to Rick, John, and the others, and Tara tells Rick and the group that one of them had a gang, and then that there's now a total of 28 or 27 livers now. And he also told me that the leader Harlan was setting up his camp on a highway. That some of his crew members are good friends of his. But if they come back here, trust me and believe, they're gonna wish they were fucking dead. John suggests why not just take him out and, like, you know, take him out and make sure he doesn't come back to the farm. Rick says, good idea. The next shot is Glenn, Alan, Hershel, and Avesta, and some of the others. They are just getting supplies for Carl, Sophia, and the kids, and they're still out there, but Glenn is just looking at this abandoned store, and he's like telling Hershel, do you think we can get all the supplies out of this one area? Hershel says, we have to. If not, the kids are going to starve to death. Same with our people. Glenn says agreed. The next shot is Tara grabbing Randell by the hair, and he just throws him into the back trunk of the car. Tara says, you're welcome, as she walks away. Rick and Shane get in the car, and they are driving 18 miles out to drop off Randell somewhere where he won't come back to the farm. Rick is driving, like, he's like not stopping, he's like driving, but before he can go any further, he stops the vehicle, and he tells Shane to get out of the car. As Rick and Shane get out of the car, Shane immediately asks Rick why we're stopping, and Rick says, well, we've been waiting 2 days before we were gonna do this. I just want to talk. Shane's like, we don't need to. And Rick says, yeah, we do. Now I heard from Dale what he thinks really happened at that school. Well, was to survive. This is where Shane confesses to Rick that he supposedly killed Otis. Shane says, yeah. One of us was going to make it out, Rick. Had to be him. One shot to the leg. Carl lives. The sad truth is, he had no business being here. Or there. Wherever the fucking school was. Rick shakes his head, says, you don't think I would have done it? Shane says, I know you would have. Rick says, you don't think I could keep Lori or Carl safe? Shane says, I didn't say that. No. But that's what I think. That you think that I can't keep none of them safe. So, what are you gonna do, huh? You gonna kill me too? Shane says, Rick, can't just be the good guy and expect to live, okay? Not anymore. I'm not the good guy anymore. To save Carl's life, I would have done anything. Now, John, Lori, Dale, and Avesta say you're dangerous, but you're not going to be dangerous. Not to us, not to them, not to me, not anymore. How about you? Look at me. You forcing yourself on Lori. Not cool. And when I was told about it, and I was told about it pretty fucking quickly, I wanted to break your mouth. Watch you choke on your teeth. And blood. But guess what? I didn't. And that wasn't weakness. It took everything. That is my wife. That is my son. That is my unborn child. I will stay alive to keep them alive. You don't love her. You think you do, but you don't. Now the only way me and you keep on is that you accept everything I just told you right here, right now, and we move forward with that understanding. When it started, it was a couple weird stories on the news. And when it really happened, it was so quick. Everything just happened. Next thing I know, I'm in the hospital with you, man. You were in a coma, and next thing I saw, they were shooting people in the halls. They were shooting people, man. Now walkers. And then those walkers came through. I tried to get you out. I tried, but we weren't gonna make it. And man, there's no way. And I knew it. But to be honest with you, I couldn't live with it. I couldn't live knowing. But I had to. And then when I was exiting out of the hospital, Reggie pulls a fucking gun on me, saying he was gonna kill me. And then you. And I just couldn't let that happen. And I didn't just keep Lori and Carl alive, man. They kept me alive. I also wanted you to know that I didn't even look at her before that. And yeah, I made a lot of shitty fucking mistakes. Brother, if I could take them all back, I would. Rick says, come on, I want to check the roads. The next shot is Lori bringing in food for Beth. Lori brings in the food and says, how about this one? When you finish all your food, how about we go out and take a walk? What do you say? Beth says to Lori, you're pregnant. Lori says, yeah. Beth then asks, how can you do that? Where he then says, well, I don't really have a choice. Beth says, do you think you'll make a difference? Where he says, of course I do. Now go on. Eat something. The next shot is Glenn, Hershel, Avesta, Alan, and the rest of the group members. They are entering the abandoned building, and they are taking a risk by killing all of the walkers in the store. As they go down the abandoned highway, as they're about to get the food and get the fuck out, unfortunately one of the building collapses, and Hershel and Alan are on one side, but Avesta and Glenn are on the other side. T-Dog and the others are just outside of the building, waiting for them to come back. But they have no idea that, unfortunately, Glenn, Avesta, Hershel, and Alan are fucking, trapped in this building. But fortunately, they're gonna have to, work together and find a way to get out. Glenn and Avesta pick themselves up, and as Glenn screams, "Hershel, Alan, you good?" Hershel screams, "Yeah, we're good. How about you and Avesta?" Avesta screams, "We're fine, but we're on the other side of the rubble. We have to find a way around." Alan then says, "Go on, go. Find another way. We'll get supplies and meet you back on the other side somehow." Glenn says, "Are you sure?" Alan says, "Hell yeah. Now go." The next shot is Beth in her room, and she is thinking about Arnold, and she just begins to cry. Lori enters the room and says, "What do you think, huh?" She then notices that Beth is crying. Lori then comforts Beth and says, "Listen, I know how hard it is to lose someone you love. To feel like all hope is lost." Beth says, "This is so pointless." Lori says, "No, it isn't. It isn't pointless. You got me, and Hershel, and your sister, Patricia, Jimmy, and John, your little brothers, Billy. You have to stay strong for them. Otherwise, what's the point?" Beth stops crying as she looks at Lori and says, "Thank you." Lori says, "You are very welcome. Now go on. Eat something. We got this." As Lori is going back to the kitchen, she knows one of the kitchen knives is missing. She runs to Beth's room, opens the door, and looks for the knife. Checks under the bed and checks everywhere, but there's no sign of the knife. Lori then says, "You give it to me, sweetheart. Alright? You don't want to do this." Beth gives Lori back the knife. As she looks at the knife and smells it and notices something straight off the bat, there is something wrong. Lori runs out of the room, runs outside, and runs towards the RV as Lori screams, "John? John? Have you seen Maggie or Glenn?" John says, "I haven't seen Glenn, but I did see Maggie walk by a few minutes ago." Lori says, "If you see her, can you tell her to get back to the house?" John's like, "Why?" Lori says, "I think Beth is trying to, end her own life." John's like, "What?" "Then I'll let Maggie know right away." Lori says, "Thank you," as she runs back to the house. The next shot is Glenn and Avesta. They are on the other side of the rubble, but they are slowly trying to find a way out. Avesta sees a walker and straight up kills it by squishing it on the floor. She uses her leg, and she just, kills Walker in a badass fashion. Glenn sees another Walker coming from the front, but then he grabs his baseball bat and just kills that one Walker and just smashes his brains in. Avesta says, "I really hope John and the others are okay." Glenn says, "Same here." Avesta actually, Glenn, do you think that Hershel and Alan will get the supplies to get out safely? Glenn says, "Yes, of course I believe that. There's no need to be doubtful." Avesta says, "I wasn't doubtful, I'm just concerned is all. It's just, first we lost Felipe, and then those assholes tried to kill me, and Andrea and Rick. It just frustrates me, Glenn says, "Yeah, I know how I feel. I was there too. I almost got fucking gunned down by one of them, and then that's when Rick saved my life. If it wasn't for him, or for John, or for Daryl, for the group, I would be dead." Vesta says, "True that." Vesta asks Glenn, "What's going on with you and that farm girl?" Glenn says, "Maggie?" "Nothing, we're just friends." Vesta says, "Come on, I've seen how you look at her. These days, nowadays, are precious. Any goodbye could be the last. Hell, if you don't tell her how you feel, or at least get to know her a little bit more, how can you live with yourself? Because if you don't do it now, you'll just have regret." Glenn says, "Thank you so much for the advice." Avesta says, "Don't mention it." As Hershel and Alan are this close to getting back to the other side, they see this fucking wall, and Alan is just like, "Well, damn. Well done, newbies. Grade A bitch shit." Hershel then says, "That doesn't mean we can't just give up. That means we gotta find something to break down this fucking wall. Let's do it." Alan says, "You might have a point, old man." They go into this old storage room. They're looking for something. Alan sees this crowbar. He grabs it and he just runs to the wall blocking their way, and he just hits it. Hershel screams, actually whispers and says, "Alan, what are you doing?" Alan whispers and says, "I'm breaking down this wall. Think about it. If we don't break it down, then how could he get the supplies?" Hershel says, "Good point." As he grabs something heavy, and he just helps Alan break down the wall. The next shot is Shane saying to Rick that's 18 miles out. Rick says, "I know. I just wanna be sure." Shane's like, "Be sure of what?" Like, to give him a clean freight, a fresh start. Shane is thinking to himself, and you guys are probably like, "What is Shane thinking about?" And Shane is thinking about killing Randell. He just wants to kill Randell because he thinks if Rick lets him go, he's gonna find his way back to his people and just tell them about the farm. Or worse, they could strike back again. The next shot is Rick and Shane out of their cars, and they notice two police-like walkers. Rick and Shane put them both down in his back-to-back fashion. Rick uses tool to cut the chains and open the gates as Shane drives the car in. As they check the walkers. Shane's like, "Oh, they're infected." Rick's like, "Yeah, they were." They drive Randell, set him down near this parking lot like area with like abandoned cars all over it. They take off the tape off his mouth, and they just leave the knife so that he can come himself free. Once they leave, Randall's like, "Don't be stupid. I owe you guys. I can help protect what you got. Why would you save my life? Just kill me by leaving me here. I'm just some guy. Some guy can't just make it out all by his own. That's why I was with those dudes. I was alone. Rick drops the knife. Randell then says, don't be stupid. I'm not like them. I used to watch football, screw around on the internet. I lived with my mom. I lost her like you lost people. I went to school with Maggie, for God's sake. Rick and Shane turn around and Shane's like, what the fuck did you just say? Went to church? Rolled the dice while I was playing varsity baseball? Rick then screams, did you go to school with Maggie? Shane then screams, did you go to school with Maggie? Answer the question, did you go to school with Maggie? Ronald then like, she didn't know me. Didn't know I existed. Sure, I knew her and I know who her dad was. But listen, there is no way that I would do anything to harm her or her family. Or you. Or your people. Listen, I'm not like the guys I was with. Rick's like, Jesus. Shane then says, he knows where we are, Rick. The farm, he knows. Say if he gets or makes his way back to his people. Shane grabs his gun and shoots at Randell, but before Rick can kill him, Rick screams no as he pushes Shane onto the ground. As Rick has the gun in his hand, he screams at Shane saying, not now, Shane! Not now! As he drops his gun on the floor, Shane then asks Rick, okay, when, Rick, when? Rick kicks the gun and says, when I had the time to think it through. Randell then says, don't let him kill me. Sir, please don't. Rick screams, shut up! We're going back. It's a man's life. Shane's like, you're gonna bring this garbage. This piece of garbage. He shot at you, Rick. He associated with a psychopath who tried to kill you. You're gonna bring him back to where Lori sleeps? To where Carl sleeps? Rick then says, no, he's gonna be locked up in the barn unless you rust it up. They go, oh, shut up, as Shane tells Rick that. Rick then tells Shane, I'm taking the night. And then Shane says, fine, you take it, you think on it, Rick. Hell, keep struggling with it. It's not hard, man. The right choices are the ones that just keeps us alive. It's always the same with you, huh? It's like the first moments, whenever you're put to the test. Rick is then like, stop acting like you know the way ahead, like you know the rules. There are no rules, man, we're lost. And Shane then's like, oh no, I know exactly where I am. Rick says, you don't know shit anymore. Shane then says, I don't think you can do it. Rick says, it's my call, man, I don't think you can keep them safe. As Rick looks at Shane and he just begins to hit Shane in the face, but he grabs Rick by the arm and just hits him on the head, and he just punching him in the face, and then that's how you get this epic battle of Rick versus Shane, but only this time it's more gruesome as Shane just kicks Rick in the important part and just punches him in the face and knocks him on the ground, and he just kicks him on the chest. He then grabs Rick and throws him, and then as Rick is trying to get up, Shane grabs a motorcycle and just throws it on top of Rick. Shane tries to grab his gun as Randell is reaching for the knife and he's trying to cut himself free. Shane sees this as he thinks Randell is just gonna run away. He grabs his gun trying to shoot at Randell, but Rick gets the upper hand where he just sneaks behind Shane and grabs him as Shane fires the gun, but the bullet misses. It hits the ground instead of hitting one of Randall's body parts, as Rick and Shane both fall to the floor, and Shane's just screaming, "Get off, man!" Rick then gets the upper hand and he just punches Shane mad times in the face as Shane gets up and screams, "No! You're not doing this! You don't get to make these calls anymore. I won't let you." Shane gets up out of pure dizziness. He gets fucking mad and frustrated. He just grabs a wrench and throws it, hoping it will kill Rick. But unfortunately, Rick dodges the attack and the wrench just goes through the window. And then that's where you get this close-up shot of Mad Walkers coming out. And then that's where Shane and Rick have no other choice but to run. Randell cuts himself free and kills a walker, killing it in the head. The next shot is back at Hershel's house. Billy is telling Beth, "Are you nuts? What happens if Dad comes back and finds out?" Beth then says, "What are you gonna do? Kill me for trying to commit suicide?" Billy is then like, Stop being such a brat. You don't want to make the same mistake Arnold made. Look what happened to him. Do you want to end up like that, Beth? With a fucking knife wound on your neck? Listen, this is not just about you. We all, and I mean we all, lost Arnold and Mom and Sean. But that doesn't mean we can just give up. Come on. I know you're smarter than this. That I want, as Beth is screaming, that I want I'm feeling to stop. You don't fucking understand what this is like. Billy screams and says, "Of course I do. Of course I do. Hell, when I was fucking bullied in school, hell yeah, I wanted to hurt myself. I wanted to kill myself, and I could have. But guess what? I knew damn well that's not what God or what my dad or what my mom wanted me to do. Just like I don't think that's what Arnold wants for you. That's not what I want for you, Beth. I don't want to have to lose you. I don't want to have to lose another sister. Or another family member. No. I already lost too much. You want to know something sad? Is Mom's still alive? She would say you're a coward. She would say you're a coward because you think the only best solution is just off yourself. Like you never existed. Mom, if she was still alive, you know damn well she would call bullshit on that. Let me ask you this. What about Dad? Beth then says, "He's clueless. He had us waiting for a cure." True, but he realized damn well that he was wrong. Beth says, since when he ever admitted he was wrong? He was just telling Birth Group what they wanted to hear. And Maggie? Jimmy? Patricia? Rachel? Susie? Me? You would do that to me? To them? No. I can't take another funeral. Beth tells Billy you can't avoid it. What are we waiting for? We should both do it. Billy's like, what? Beth then says, help each other. Billy's like, hell no. No. It's hard to do it. Nobody wants to. Stop talking like that, Beth. Just stop talking like that. It will be our choice, and it will be over. We're forced to do it when Dad and his house is overrun? No one could protect us. Billy's like, that's not true. Then who? Glenn? Yeah, I heard what happened. He tried to save his family and the others too. You wanna know what I think? I think we're alone, Billy. You, me, Dad, Maggie, and Patricia. It's us against a whole fucking world of those things. I don't want to be gutted. I want to go in this bed tonight with you beside me. Please. As John hears this, he gets this sad look on his face, and it just breaks his heart knowing that Beth just wants to do such a thing to herself. The next shot is Shane in a bus, and mad walkers are trying to get him. One of the walkers are trying to get in, but Shane then stabs it in the head. He then does something smart. He grabs a knife, cut his hand, puts some of the blood on the wall of the bus, and as he notices one of the walkers are licking the blood, Shane jokes, says, "Oh, you like that?" He then puts more blood on the wall as he notices the walker is through, but is licking mad blood from the wall. But then that's where Shane grabs his knife and kills the walker. Shane's like, "Holy smokes!" John knocks on the door as Billy goes to the door. John's like, "Is it okay if I talk to her?" Billy's like, "I don't know. Listen, John, I can't leave her by herself." John says, "Don't worry, she'll be with me. She'll be fine. Why don't you go take a walk? Hell, I'll get something to eat. I got her." Billy says, "Thank you." John says, "Don't mention it." As Billy leaves and John enters the room, John looks at Beth and immediately asks, "Tell me, is this what you want?" Beth doesn't say anything. John says, "I know the pain you are feeling right now, Beth. You think we don't know? We do. I know, because I lost my brother. His name was Jonathan. And as day goes by, when I wish he was not here. And hell, I still fucking miss him. And yeah, I can relate to you because you lost your brother. Besides, you don't just get to give up because you want to give up. You can't, because at the end of the day, you gotta survive. You trying to hurt yourself or harm yourself or kill yourself, it's not the right way to do things. If you don't fight, you die. And I don't want you to die, Beth. I don't. Beth asks why. As John is sitting on the bed, John says, "Why? Because I have fucking feelings for you, that's why. Not only that, I fucking care about you. I don't want to see you dead or hurt." When I headed out to find Rick and the others, I thought about you. I thought about you because I knew if I died, I would never fucking see you again. I knew if I died, that would be it for me. I don't want you to go, Beth. I love you. I was just randomly guy. When I met you, I just felt something I haven't felt in a long time. That was love. And if you kill yourself, that love will go away. And it will devastate me. It would devastate me. You don't know how much. I love you so much, Beth Greene, that you can't even imagine. But sometimes you just can't give up. You cannot give up, ever. Because if you give up, then what's the point of fighting? You choose. You die or you live. But if you live, I want you to know I would do anything to make you happy. Anything. As John kisses Beth, and she is just like, holy smokes. And she looks at John, she kisses John back, and she is just like, wow. John whispers, "Don't die, please," as he sits on his chair, and he just looks out the window. The next shot is Avesta kicking down a door, and that's how you know Glenn and Avesta have gotten out safely. But as they are running towards the front entrance, they see that Andrea, T-Dog, Alan, Hershel, and the others have the supplies, and they are ready to go back. As Avesta and Glenn smile. Glenn's like, "I knew that you guys could get out." Alan says, "Yeah, I guess so. I guess we're all lucky." The next shot is Randell trying to leave, but then that's where Rick comes out of nowhere. He grabs his gun and aims at Randell, runs like flinches a little bit. He's like, "Holy smokes!" as he is trying to run to the car, trying to hide from Rick. But Rick then grabs Randell by the shirt and says, "Where the fuck did you think you were going?" Randell says, "I was just trying to hide, man. Listen, if you let me go, I won't tell nobody anything." Rick's like, "Shut up." As Rick looks at the walkers that are by the bus, and Randall's like, "You're willing to save his life after you tried to bash your head in? Shit. Fine, give me a gun. I'll help you. Hell, let me show you." Rick then says, "Let's go. You get the drive." Randall says, "Really? Thank you." As he grabs Randall and just pushes him, trying to push him like next to a trash can, like, "Shut up." Shane is looking outside the window of the bus. He notices that Rick and Randall are leaving, and Rick's like not Rick, but Shane's he's touching the windows. He's like, Rick. And this scene really has you question, like, holy shit, is Rick about to leave Shane? But the next shot is Beth asking John, "Do you want to be more than friends?" And John says, "Yeah." Beth says, "Me too. Good night. Is it okay if I go to the restroom real quick?" John says, "Sure." Beth goes to the bathroom. She's like on the toilet, and she is just confused at this point. She does not know what to do. She really loves John, but knows that if she goes down the path she's going on, there's no going back. That's when Beth hits the mirror. As John hears this, he's like, Beth, don't do this, Beth." Lori and Billy come through the door. As Maggie comes through the door too. She's like, she's in the bathroom. She asked me if she can use the restroom. I said yes. I didn't think. Fuck. Lori says it's okay. As she grabs a crowbar and just breaks down the door. John's like, "Beth." As Beth turns around and is crying, and she's bleeding out, but Beth then says to John, "I'm so sorry." As John says, Come on, let's get you to your dad. "Where's Hershel?" Billy says, "They're over there, they're coming back." Billy says, "Yeah, get him. Get him now. This is an emergency." Billy says, "Sure thing." Billy runs to her father and says, "It's Beth. She hurt herself." Hershel's like, "What?" Billy says, "Not enough time. Please come." Hershel says, "Don't worry, I'm on my way." As everyone is in the house, they Avesta, Andrea, Tita, Glenn, they notice that Guillermo has been shot in the arm, and Hershel's like, what the fuck happened? That's when Dale and the others are like, Harlan and the Livers, they came and they were firing at the barn. We were able to fight them off, but unfortunately in the process, Guillermo got shot. What happened to Beth? John says, I think it's, best if she tells you herself. The next shot is Hershel stitching up Beth's wound as Beth just breaks down and tells Hershel everything. Like, not everything, just the fact that she just wanted to, end her own life, and she's been feeling pain and, been very, very upset. Hershel says, I feel you because that's how I felt when I was at that bar. And I don't really blame you for that, for feeling pain. Because at the end of the day, that's why I felt. At least you know you don't want to kill yourself anymore, and that you want to live. Beth says, well, as she smiles, and if you want to thank one person for that, it's Billy and John. They really helped me. Hershel says, I'll be sure to thank them. As Glenn brings in all the supplies they found from that abandoned store, all the kids are happy, and it's just this beautiful, beautiful scene. Rick is walking to the car. Rick tells Randell to stay there as he looks at the two dead cops, and he just gets this reminder of what John said, where John says, listen, we don't leave anyone behind, brother. We don't leave family. Rick realizes this, and he's like, holy shit, he was right. Rick and Randell get in the car as Shane is struggling to push the walkers back. Shane sees Rick as he gets out from under the windows. He grabs his gun and shoots two walkers as he screams, Shane! As Shane sees this and he just gets happy, Rick says, run through the back! As Shane's like, woo! As he just runs through the back, kicks the back door, and just gets in the car. Rick tells Randell to drive away as he just backs the car up, killing the walker in the baddest fashion, and they just drive away. Randell screams, woo! Yeah! Hell yeah! Did you see that? Did you see what we did? Rick screams, just keep driving. Rick just looks outside the window. Shane looks at Randell and is like, this kid might be alright. The next shot is Randall's like, listen, I know you don't trust me, but at least give me a chance to share some info to help you guys out. At least think about it. Rick says, I will think about it. As Randell puts the tape back on his mouth, and as Rick puts tape on his hands and he puts the blindfold back on, and he just puts Randell in the back of the trunk. Rick tells Shane, listen, if you want to kill me, you're going to have to do a lot better than a fucking ranch. I might have to kill that boy, even if I don't want to. I am going to think about it tonight. Can't be that easy killing somebody. Killing anyone. You know that. That is my wife. That is my unborn son. Those are my childs. If you're gonna be with us, you gotta follow my lead. You gotta trust me. But I think it's time for you to come back. As he gives Shane back his gun. And this is the scene where Rick gives Shane one last chance. And Shane just says, okay, as they both get into the car. As Rick is driving away, Shane looks outside the window and sees this Walker, like this lonely like Walker, just walking around onto the field, and then that's how you get the first shadow of either Rick or Shane might die. And boom, that is the end of the episode. I know this was a longer episode, not really a regular, like, 28-minute mark episode, but I wanted this episode to be longer so you guys can enjoy the stuff that's in this episode, because a lot happened in this episode. A lot. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned because more content is coming. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, peace.